Well, there is some misunderstanding, or at least you could say discussion, about the difference between the effective interest rate and the yearly cost percentage. But if you look at the name of those two percentages, the one of them, interest rates, is about, strangely enough, interest. The cost percentage, however, takes in other aspects apart from interests. So they take all the costs as commissions or other things. And I'll show you an example here. Now we have just talked about the interest rate nominal and the effective interest rate, depending on how many times you pay and calculate the interest for a year. The cost percentage will take into consideration also if the bank or the loan giver is charging other costs, not being interests. For instance, they could say, well, you get this loan here of 100,000, but we will charge you a commission or a fee or something, to establish the loan. And typically they'll say, well, you owe us 100,000, but you will receive the 100,000 minus the costs. So let's say they have total costs of 20,000. Then we have to establish a cash flow to see what is actually the truth cash flow here. And if we look at before we start paying back at the end of year one, so then I will receive plus. Now we are talking about a plus because I receive 80,000, the 100 minus 20, but I still owe 100,000, as you understand. And then every month I pay an amount. The first 35 months it's only interest, but then at the end I also pay the loan back. So this is the actual cash flow, starting up with receiving 80,000 and all the payments, and the last payment here of 100,000 plus the interest rate. So this is the cash flow. And now Excel can tell us, so what is actually, if this is the cash flow, what is the cost percentage per year? So the 20,000 I have deducted here is now actually transferred into a cost percentage. And when the cash flow is like this, a different cash flow, the payments are different, I will use a special formula in Excel, and that is I'm not sure if it's the IR. So this is the series of cash flow. It is, I guess was right, the internal rate of return actually. So I can say the values are this cash flow here. And now I have a cost percentage. Well, it's not per year, because we remember that the 36 payments was because it was in three years payment each month. So now again I have to actually transfer this into a yearly percentage, and we know the method because now we have to calculate effective interest of this monthly cost percentage. So that is, in brackets, 1 plus the percentage in the power of, or in Danish, i potens af, in the power of 12 minus the one we started with here. So now it's a quite different cost percentage than the effective. I'll just go up and show in percentage, go to home, percentage. So the cost percentage is 17.8%. Due to, of course, 20,000 that I have to pay back also in only 3 years' time. So this is the difference of effective interests, showing the interests, and the costs showing both the costs and interests.